Aussie, 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 oi. Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Aussie here. I'm so excited about what we're chatting about today. Today, we're going to learn about fire trucks and firefighters. We're going to start with the basics, and then we're going to go and visit a real fire station. And then after that, we're going to enjoy a book together about firefighters. So come on, let's get stuck in. Did you know that when I was a little boy, I used to want to be a firefighter when I grew up? And I still get excited when I see the fire trucks zooming down the street with their lights flashing and their sirens going. So cool. Here, look, I brought my own fire truck today. Well, it's not a real life-size one, of course, but it's got a real hose and real water. Why would a fire truck need a real hose and real water? Well, to put out fires, of course, like car fires and house fires and bush fires. But did you know that fighting fires isn't all that firefighters do? That's right, they have lots of other important jobs too, like helping people out when they've been stuck in car accidents, and they spend some of their time getting animals that have been stuck in trees and other funny places. Do you know what colour this truck is? That's right, it's red. Good job, kids. And it's red so that it can stand out and it's easy to see when it's coming down the road. But what else makes a fire truck stand out? A siren and a horn and flashing lights. How cool. Let's have a look at some of the other parts of the fire truck. So over here, we have a locker. And in there, firefighters keep things like first aid kits, hose fittings, and fire extinguishers, and other sorts of things like that. Up here, that's called the cab. That's where the firefighters sit when they're driving in the fire engine on the way to an emergency. What else do we have? Oh, that there, that's called the pump panel. And that's what you use to control the water that comes out of the hose. Pretty cool. And this up here, that's a ladder. And that can extend really tall so we can reach high places like the top of buildings. Now, if you're in a fire at home, it's really important to get out the front as quick as you can. And then it's super important to make sure you stand next to the letterbox so that when the firefighters arrive, they know that you're safe. They don't need to go back inside to try and save you. Another really interesting fact is that when we go to sleep, all our senses go to sleep as well. That's right, our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch, but not our hearing. Pretty clever, hey? That's why it's really important to make sure that your smoke alarm or smoke detector is always working. So that if there's a fire while you're asleep and the smoke goes up to the smoke alarm, it's going to set it off, start beeping, your ears are going to hear it, you're going to wake up, then you're going to have a chance to get outside the house before you get yourself into any danger because of the fire. Pretty cool, hey? And what else? Firefighters need to make sure that they're safe when they're fighting fires, don't they? So they're going to wear a really special uniform. Like that. That's a helmet. They're going to wear it on their head to make sure that their head is safe. They're also going to wear a jacket and pants to help protect them from the flames. They're going to wear some really protective boots on their feet to make sure they're safe, and also some gloves to protect their fingers and their hands. Wow, we've certainly learnt a lot today. I hope you guys have had lots of fun learning different things about firefighters and the equipment they use. But wouldn't it be fun if we could go down to the local fire station and visit a real fire truck? Maybe they might even let us spray the hose. Who knows? Let's go and find out. Come on.
Aussie, 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 oi. Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Aussie here. So can you guess where I am today? That's right, I've come down to the local fire station. How exciting is this going to be? So we're going to get a chance to go inside and check out a real fire truck. We're going to see the firefighters' uniforms, maybe even meet a real firefighter, and if we're super lucky, they might let us turn on one of the hoses. How cool is this going to be? So this station, this is called the RFS, and RFS stands for Rural Fire Service. Now, because in Australia we have so much bushland, in New South Wales we have both the RFS and the Fire and Rescue. Now the RFS look after emergencies and fires in bushland and farm areas all around New South Wales. And the Fire and Rescue, they mainly look after the city areas. And another really cool fact is that the New South Wales RFS is the biggest volunteer fire service in the whole world. How awesome is that? Makes me pretty proud to be an Aussie. So come on, let's go inside and see what it's all about. Let's go. So before we can help out in an emergency or a fire, we're going to put on a uniform to help keep us safe. I'm going to start with a jacket, which has been lent to me by one of the firefighters here at the Rural Fire Service. You can see it's nice and bright yellow, has reflective strips so it's easy to see, and it's got lots and lots of pockets for all your tools and gloves and different things. Look at this. Got ourselves a radio so that we can talk to other firefighters and send messages. We're going to need one of these, aren't we? Very important to wear a helmet to make sure our head's protected and our eyes. Now I don't have them, but usually you'd wear a pair of pants as well and a big, heavy, protective pair of boots to keep your feet safe. And the final thing is a pair of gloves. Keep your fingers and your hands safe. So now that we're all dressed, let's go and jump in the front of the fire truck and see what's in there. Let's go. So now we're inside the fire truck. How cool is this? This is called the cab. Lots of room up here. There's enough room for 6 firefighters. Back there you can fit 4. Up in this seat, this is the officer in charge. So Ozzy is the officer in charge today. And over in the driver's seat, we've got a real firefighter. Come and meet Roz. Hi Roz.
Hi Ozzy, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me. Now I don't know about you kids, but I'm pretty excited to hear the sirens and see the flashing lights. Roz, do you reckon we can fire the truck up and get those things going?
We sure can.
I always love hearing the sirens and seeing the big fire truck coming down the street. How much fun is it? Now, there's lots of other cool stuff up here too. We've got some computer screens and they tell us where to go, where the fires are. So we've also got lots of radios up here too. This one is for the group leader and he tells our truck and lots of other trucks where to go and what to do. And then this one over here has to talk to our own fire crew. So we've seen lots of cool stuff inside the cab. Thanks for letting us inside the truck, Roz. Why don't we go outside and see all the other fun stuff on the outside of the truck? Come on, let's go. So we've seen inside the cab. Let's have a walk around and check out the outside of the fire truck and see all the different parts and the different equipment and tools they have. So this is the front of the truck. Got some lights. This bit here, that's where the horn and the siren comes out of. We've got some reflective strip, so it's easy to see the fire truck as it's coming down the street. And this whole thing here, that's what we were just sitting inside. That's called the cab, remember? All right, this door here, that's for the driver. So the driver goes up there and sits up front. This back door, that's for the crew. So they climb up these steps to get all the way up into the cab up there. What else do we have? Let's check out these. All these things are called lockers. Let's see what's inside. So we've got some hoses, we've got some nozzles and some fittings. Pretty cool. What else do we have? Check out this one. Oh, this one's got some safety gear, some first aid kits, and we've got some sun cream, which is very important in the Aussie summer, some hand sanitizer, make sure your hands are clean, and some air guard, that's to keep those bugs away, which is also important in Aussie bush. And what's in this locker? Oh, these are important. Some fire extinguishers. We've got some petrol, some tools, chainsaws, and some rope. go around the back. We've got some hoses here. Oh, and there's a hose here. There's 2 hoses. And look, this is where you can connect some other hoses. And that connects to this thing, and that's called the pump panel. And that controls the water out of the pump, which comes from the tank. And the tank at the back there, that holds 3,500 litres. That's a lot of water. Come on, let's check out this side. Look up here. We've got a ladder, but it's only a little one because the RFS, they don't usually need to go to big building fires, so they don't need a huge ladder. They've just got a little mini one. Let's check out what's in this locker. These guys are important. So that's called breathing apparatus. And so they're tanks that the firefighters put on their back, then they put the big mask on their face, which sometimes looks a bit scary, but it's just so that they can breathe when they go to car fires and building fires, and they're not breathing all that smoke in. What's in this last locker? Lots more hoses, all different sizes and different types, different fittings, and different nozzles. So now we've seen all the different parts of the truck. Do you think I can go and ask Roz if she'll let Ozzy turn on the real hose? Come on, let's go find out. So I've got my new firefighter friend Roz here, and Roz is going to control the pump panel, and Ozzy's going to control the hose. So you grab it like that, and you walk it out, and then you say to Roz, water on! And once the water's on, you just pull this lever like this, and out comes the water. And then you can control the way the water comes out, wide and narrow, which shoots it further into the air. And then when you're done, you turn it off like that and you say, water off! And Roz, our helpful firefighter friend, she's going to turn it off over there at the truck. And that is how the hose works. How much fun is that? So how much fun was that visit? Getting to come along and see a real fire truck and meet a real firefighter. How awesome is Roz? She even let us go inside the fire truck and check all the different parts on the outside of the fire truck. And she even let Ozzy play with the hose and make the spray go wide and long. It was super fun. And just before we finish up, check out this truck that I found. It's from 1924, a long, long time ago, but they used to actually drive this guy out to the fires. She's old, but she's a beauty. So a massive thank you to the men at RFS. Thank you so much for letting us come along today. Kids, I hope you had as much fun as Ozzy. We'll see you on our next video. Until then, stay keen.
Ozzy, 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 oi. Ozzy is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzy here. So we've been down to the local fire station. We've got to visit a big truck, learn all about the different parts and the different equipment they use. Now let's sit back and enjoy a good book about firefighters. Now this book is about Aussie animals that are firefighters, and it's called Captain Kangaroo Saves the Day. It's illustrated by Mandy Foote. It's been a corker of a summer, stinking hot and dry. Captain Kangaroo patrols for fires from way up in the sky, in his very own aeroplane. And it's got a name on the side, and it says CK. Do you think that stands for Captain Kangaroo? I think so. The whole state is a tinderbox. The fireys are ready to go. If the captain spots a fire, they'll be the first to know. Meanwhile, they do lots of drills and keep their truck ship shape. Wombat practices on the pole, so he knows he won't be late. See, over here we've got the firefighters' outfits hung up ready to go so they can get dressed really quickly. And they've got their names on the top so they know who's whose. The captain's got a bird's eye view, good for spotting smoke. He takes it very seriously. Bushfires are no joke. He sees some scrub ablaze and sends a signal to the crew. The lookouts ring the bell. They know just what to do. Because the captain has written the word fire out of smoke in the sky. And the lookouts can see it really easily. Then they send a message to the other firefighters to send some help so they can put out the fire. The fireys jump into action. They're all ready to go. But the fire's awfully far away and the truck's a little slow. "Captain," says the fire chief, "we're going to need your chopper. If we don't put it out soon, this fire could be a whopper." Captain Kangaroo fills the chopper from the lake. It's amazing how much water this special craft can take. It sends its big hose down into the water, picks up the water, and then it flies over top of the fire and drops the water on top of the flames to put them out. He dumps the water on the blaze, but the wind is getting stronger. The fire's getting bigger now. The bush won't be there much longer. But who's that here to help, racing through the sky? It's the captain's grandpa who taught him how to fly. Old Pa Roo flies a tiger moth he's had since it was new. He's rigged it up with all the gear for fighting fires too. Look, there's old Pa Roo flying the plane, and he's got his name on the side. What a cool looking aircraft. Pa calls through the radio. "We'll have this out quick smart. Nice work, Sonny Roo. You've made a ripper start." Pa and the captain take turns dumping their loads, while the chief and his fireys get closer on the road. Pa says, "Just one more load, then I think we're done. Time to let the ground boys finish off this one. But I can think of one more job for a pair of flying roos. Follow my lead and I'll show you what to do." They each pick up another load and fly a few k's west till they reach a little town even hotter than the rest. It has a dried up waterhole till Pa Roo fills it up. The locals are delighted. They can't believe their luck. So this is a dried up waterhole, and old Pa Roo has picked up some water, flown over and dropped it into the waterhole. Look what happens. All the animals come for a swim. That night, as the sun's setting, they all gather for a dip, while the captain tells stories and the fireys have a kip. They'd be tired after fighting fires all day, wouldn't they? The kids all asked for one last trick, so Pa hops in his plane. He does a loop-the-loop just as it starts to rain. The drought has finally broken and the captain's job is done. 3 cheers for the fireys. Good on you, everyone. What a cool book. So awesome to learn about all the different firefighting machines, and so great to see the different Aussie animals working together to put out the fire. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. We'll see you again soon on our next video with Aussie. Until then, stay keen. I hope you enjoyed Storytime with Aussie. If you did, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit subscribe. That way, you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out. And did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Make sure you look really closely because they're in every single video. And we'll see you again soon. Until then, stay keen.
Aussie, 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 oi. Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
Don't forget to follow Aussie on our social channels at Aussie for Kids. Feel free to send us some ideas on what you want to learn about next, what sports you'd like to play, jobs you want Aussie to feature, vehicles you're fascinated with, or any subjects you'd like to know more about. I'm just as keen as you, so together, let's learn more. And if you've got any friends that you think might like Aussie, don't forget to tell them too. See you next time, kids. Until then, stay keen.